again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Chamber's first Monday, Political HobNob, here at Wild Wing Café. I want to welcome everyone here to Wild Wing. In particular, we'd like to welcome our board members from both chambers. If you could please wave. And we would like to welcome all board members from both chambers of commerce. We'd like, of course, to also welcome our elected officials who are currently in office. If you could also please vote. We know there's many in attendance. Thank you so much. At this point, we want to thank, of course, June Brain again from Wild Wing Café for providing such a fantastic space for us to meet tonight and for providing fantastic food for us. I want to remind everyone, of course, the food and the great services is free. Please take care of your servers tonight. That being said, I'd like to welcome to the stage Bob Dallas.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Obviously tonight's a political forum, and that's a good thing, because for those who say that business and politics don't mix, have not been reading the paper and watching TV. We in Dunwoody Chamber of Commerce want to say thank you to all the candidates being here today, because what you do for business is a critical thing for all of us, both from the way that you oversee our courts, to the laws that you enact, and those who administer those laws. So I just want to say thank you to each of you who is here today. So here are the rules of engagement. So our candidates get to give an elevator speech, 2 minutes or less, that tell us a couple things. One, who you are. Two, learn a lot about you and make an informed decisions as voters and business owners who are very supportive of what you do for all of us. So with that, what I'm going to do is bring up the candidates. You get 2 minutes or less, and we'll do it by position. So, you know, we can start with the senatorial races, but unfortunately none of them are here. And we can also start with the U.S. representative, but they're not here either. But we will start. We will start. We have a seat. Wait, we have one here? I don't have them on my list. Oh, excuse me. Derek Grayson is here. Excuse me, sir. Come on up. I meant to say. We do have 4 of you. All right, come on up. All right, so do we have the other 3 candidates up here as well? All right. Derek, is it just you here today?
Let's see. I think so.
Okay. Let me turn this over to you. It'll take a couple minutes. We have our timekeeper over there. 3, 2, 1, 0.
Good afternoon. Yep, well, good evening. I'm Derek Grayson. I'm running for U.S. Senate, obviously. I'm not going to spend any of my time talking about who I am. Grayson2016.com. You can find out everything down to my favorite color underwear if that's important to you. The reason I am running is basically the same reason I ran in 2014. That is indicative of why we see all the turmoil taking place in the Republican Party today. The division between establishment and grassroots. Hence, Donald Trump's popularity. Some call it a phenomenon, but Donald Trump is not a phenomenon. Donald Trump is a reaction to the betrayal of the establishment in the Republican Party. And many of us tend to ignore what I call my guy syndrome. No matter what's wrong, my guy is okay. It's your guy that's the problem. Now I always ask people, and I'm going to ask you, is 100% of the Constitution what you want? Is the protection of the Bill of Rights what you want? And is limited government what you want? If that's what you want, please raise your hands. Okay, so we got a few people that raised their hands. So those that didn't, and I'll go ahead and say it, I'm not your guy, because that's what I am about as a true constitutional conservative. I want people that's going to obey 100% of the Constitution, protect the Bill of Rights, and limit government, and we have gotten away from that within the Republican Party. So I no longer consider the establishment conservative. I consider them just those who are doing what they are paid to do. Bought and bossed. I am unbought, I am unbossed, and I am Constitution driven. Thank you. I hope you'll consider me at the polls on May 24th.
Thank you. All right. Did Jen Barksdale make it? Nope. Okay. So did John Coyne?
Coyne, I'm here.
Come on up. This is for U.S. Senate, which, as we all know, is 6 years in office. Welcome.
Okay, my name's John Coyne. I'm running for U.S. Senate. Most of you, since you're from DeKalb County, knew I ran against Cynthia McKinney and Hank Johnson in 2006. I had boots on my truck to boot McKinney. I believe, and I tell Hank every time I see him, I got him elected. And in talking tonight, things I was listening to Mr. Grayson, there's a lot of things going on in this world today. And politics, and the way the structure of politics affects the average run-of-the-mill person who wants to run for office. And one of the biggest problems in this state is what I call the A and the B line. You run as vote as a Democrat, you vote as a Republican. And the party this year, the Democratic Party, has 4 seats where a Republican is sitting as an incumbent unopposed. And you lose those votes when you don't have a candidate in the race. And when I ran, and I complained to the state Secretary of State, Governor Perdue received 61,000 Republican votes. Cynthia McKinney got 27, Hank got about 25, I got about 8,000 votes. That disenfranchises a tremendous amount of people when you don't have a blanket primary. And a lot of you that are running now may run into that same issue out in DeKalb County and for some of the larger races, because you have a lot of Republican followers that want to vote for change for somebody different that's already in office, even though they are a Democrat. So don't discount the other side. You can go to my website. We mentioned James Barksdale. 3 of us qualified prior to Mr. Barksdale, didn't know anything about it, and the party had a chosen one. But we're going to try to defeat that, and I think I have a good shot at beating Johnny Isaacson, who is a friend. And I would like your support, and anybody who needs mine, just contact me through my email address. Y'all have a great evening.
Next on my list is Cheryl Copeland. Is Cheryl here? Okay, she didn't make it. All right. Well, we're moving on now to the State Senate, and for District 40, which is a 2-year term, we have Tamara Johnson Shealy. Is she here? Tamara, come on up. Thank you for being here.
Good evening, well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tamara Johnson Shealy. I was sitting up there stuck in my face, so I didn't think I was next. But nevertheless, I'm Tamara Johnson Shealy, candidate for Senate District 40. I am a mom, I'm a wife, and I'm an advocate. I come from the beauty industry where we address legislation that affects the beauty and barber industry, so I'm very familiar with the legislative process and initiating legislation. I've lobbied here locally, and I've lobbied on Capitol Hill, so I am definitely familiar with the process. I'm running because I like to see us build bridges. I think for too long we've had too many problems in DeKalb County as a whole, and I'd like to see us build some bridges, not just in our district, but in our counties and in our state. So that's why I'm running. Thank you.
For State House of Representatives, another 2-year term. For District 81, Lane Flynn is on this. Lane? Is Lane coming up?
Yeah, he's coming up.
All right. Here we are. Here he is. Good to see you, Lane.
How are you? Hey y'all, I'd like to thank the Chamber for giving me this opportunity to speak and introduce myself to you. My name is Lane Flynn. I'm running for State House Rep for District 81, which is mostly in North DeKalb County, a little tiny bit in Gwinnett. I got involved with this race because I had some concerns about DeKalb. My wife and I live there. We're raising our 2 young daughters in northern DeKalb, and I also run my small business out of space in north DeKalb. I think it can be and should be a great place to live, to work and raise family, but there's some obvious issues with the government that I think need leadership, and not just a bill passed, but actual leadership at the state level to bring together the local communities as well as the county government and the existing cities to create a comprehensive solution that ensures over the next 10, 20, 30 years and more, we have a tax base that services can be provided, that allow people to live, that support the schools, and that also allows businesses. I'm a small businessman myself. I've owned and run a small business for 10 years. I understand how important that is. I want to minimize regulation, reduce the tax burden on businesses to make it easier for new businesses to open, for existing businesses to expand. To do that, we also need an effective educational infrastructure. I'm a supporter of new options for parents, including charter schools, including the amendment, the proposed amendment to allow new school districts to form. And I also support transportation freedom and transportation choice, making smart usage of the existing infrastructure such as MARTA, and partnering with new and disruptive businesses like Uber to give people the maximum possible choice. I think I'm the best candidate to move the DeKalb forward and to create a strong community and a strong place to do business here and in the future. Please visit my website at laneflynn.com. I appreciate your support. Thank you.
All right, moving on. For District Attorney, we have Sherry Boston. Sherry, if you want to make your way up here, no stranger to Dunwoody, as she's a former Dunwoody municipal judge, our current solicitor for DeKalb County, Sherry Boston. Come on down.
In a box.
Ready for DA.
Good evening, everyone. It's my honor and pleasure to be here. I am Sherry Boston. I currently serve as your DeKalb County Solicitor General and have been honored to serve you in that role for the last 5 years. But now I've made the decision that I want to step up and do something even greater for our county, which is why I'm running to be the next District Attorney of DeKalb County. I have 2 minutes, so I'm going to go very, very quickly. I believe that I have the breadth of experience to be your next DA. I've served as a judge, I've served as a criminal defense lawyer, and I've served as a prosecutor. So I understand how the criminal justice system has to work together to resolve the issues that we have in our public safety communities, such as human trafficking, domestic violence, drugs. Those are all issues that are going to affect all of our communities here in DeKalb. Secondarily, I intend, just as I have for the last 5 years, to run an office that is at the highest level of professionalism, integrity, accountability, honesty, and transparency. The DA's office is a $13 million budget, and every single dollar has to be accountable for the taxpayers because it's their money. We have to stretch a dollar. I've done that as your Solicitor General, so I have a record to stand on. I've operated a $7 million budget for the last 5 years, never once going over $1 in my budget. And I have served this community well. I hope you'll allow me to continue to serve you by electing me as your next District Attorney here in DeKalb. Thank you very much.
All right. Moving on to the Public Service Commission. So PSC does a lot of things. We'll hear a little bit about that today. First, we have Kelly Austin. I saw Kelly earlier. You make your way up here. He resides in Gwinnett County, but it's a statewide elected position.
Good evening. Who here gets a power bill? All right, I know some of you are listening, some of you aren't, it's kind of loud. but if you get a power bill and this matters to you, my name is Kelly Pollard Austin, and I'm running statewide for Public Service Commission. This oversees everything about energy in Georgia: electricity, natural gas, telecommunications. The incumbent has voted for every rate increase and every tax increase since being in office. And now he and my other opponent want to regulate the internet to force Metro Atlanta to pay for other parts of the state to have high-speed internet. They believe in subsidies and big government rather than limited government. I am the only fiscal conservative running statewide for Public Service Commission. This race will be determined in the primary. Only Republicans are qualified. There are no Democrats running. Right now, the Public Service Commission does not even track their votes. I commit to make every vote of the Public Service Commission recorded and searchable, just like the legislature. I will fight to make the energy grid safe and to keep our energy costs from continuing to go up and up. I believe in limited government, lower taxes, and more personal freedom. My name is Kelly Pollard Austin. I am an 8th generation Georgian. I own a small business. I have 5 kids, ages 12 to 17. I'm running statewide again, Kelly Pollard Austin, Georgia Public Service Commission. Just remember that Kelly is Kelly with an IE. My website is votekelly.com. And I ask for you to look into this, and I ask to earn your trust and your support and your vote on May 24th.
Thank you, Kelly. All right, next for our Public Service Commission is Michelle Miller. Is Michelle here? Here we are.
It's a pleasure to be here this evening. My name is Michelle Miller. I'm a Houston County resident. I was a military spouse for 16 years, and I have, I'm a mother of 2 beautiful kids, Ian, 11, and Elon, 6. I want to tell you a brief story about planting seeds. You see, when I was 16, I represented the state of Louisiana in the National Bicentennial Competition. My first airplane ride was to Washington, D.C., where I had the honor of debating members of Congress and the Supreme Court Justice on the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. And I felt that my voice was heard and my voice was valued. And I felt as though they planted that seed of public service in me. And throughout my life, I've nourished this seed. I've nourished it through education. I'm a Penn State graduate in energy and sustainability policy. I did my study abroad in Costa Rica, where I learned geothermal, biomass, solar, wind, biofuel. I'm certified in ArcGIS, which is transmission line siting, route optimization. I'm also certified as an ethical leader in business and policy from the NASDAQ Center for Public Trust. And I also nourish this seed through experience. I own my own business. I've consulted internationally in China and in France, where I worked on an MOU with the country of India doing financial analysis. I've also consulted here in the U.S. and won a military contract with Brook City Base. So the Public Service Commission regulates electric, natural gas, and telecommunications, but I'm here to tell you that we can do so much more. You see, I believe that your Public Service Commissioner should be your financial steward and investor. That means I need to watch over your money. I need to make sure that the investments that we make, if there's a negative return, there's protections written in that contract for you. Also, I believe in being, an advocate. And what that means is that we have to share information with your local communities. We live in a very heavy regulated state, and it's time that we have a Public Service Commissioner that has detailed solutions that can mitigate some of the problems that we have here. In the history of the Public Service Commission, we've never elected anyone that has education or experience, and none of my opponents have any. So I ask for your support. I ask for your vote on May 24th. You can look me up on Michelle Miller, the number 4, PSC.com. Thank you.
All right, next up we have our judiciary, incredibly important to DeKalb County, and has always served us well. Judge Ted Perry. Judge Perry, are you here? Did she make it? Okay. Then we have JP Roulette. JP? is one of our newest Superior Court judges. Been a great advocate for veterans courts, amongst many other things. So thank you, Danny.
Thank you, Bob. Well, I signed up for this about a month ago, and I thought I was in an opposed election. Turns out I'm unopposed, so I'm going to try to yield most of my 2 minutes to someone else. But I did want to just come up to Dunwoody briefly tonight and thank everyone here, including Mayor Dennis Shortle, for their support. Very happy to be unopposed and to get to keep on doing the work I'm doing on Superior Court. As I think some of you know, my key initiative is the Veterans Court, where we're going to take young men and women coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan who are suffering from PTSD and may have gotten into some trouble, and instead of sending them to jail, try to get them mental health treatment, drug treatment, and job training. So if you'd like to hear more about that, ask me about it. I'll be looking for mentors that are other veterans that can help those men and women out. So Dunwoody, thank you so much for your support. Bob, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you so much for being here. All right, next we have Gail Flake, a long-serving judge in the DeKalb County Superior Court. Judge Flake.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Gail Flake. I'm one of your Superior Court judges in the DeKalb Superior Court, and I'm running for re-election. Superior Court judges run nonpartisan, that is, neither Republican or Democrat. We're not allowed to talk about issues. We have those restrictions, so basically we have to campaign on our reputation and our experience and our qualifications. I was not raised to brag about myself, so this is sort of contrary to what I like to do, but I want to tell you about my experience. I was appointed to the Superior Court in 1993 by then Governor Zell Miller, and have been re-elected several times and served on the bench continuously since then. Prior to serving on the Superior Court, I was a state court judge for about 2 years, and also served prior to that as a part-time reporter's court judge for about 4 or 5 years. So I have quite a bit of experience on the courts. I've also served as a private attorney and was chief staff attorney for DeKalb County for about 8 years. Superior Court judges hear lots of different kinds of cases, but primarily felony criminal cases and domestic cases, that is divorce, child custody, child support. So we deal with issues that seriously impact individuals' lives. I think that we need the most experienced and qualified persons on our court. If you don't know about me personally, I would ask that you talk to some folks that might know me or look at our campaign literature. I think you'll find that my reputation earned over the years is someone who's knowledgeable of the law, treats people fairly and without bias in her court, and also moves her cases efficiently so that folks don't have to wait long periods of time to have their day in court. So I would ask you to consider my qualifications and hopefully support me with your vote so that I can continue the privilege of serving you as one of your Superior Court judges. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Flake. All right, also running for Superior Court is Angela Brown. Angela is here for me. Here we are. Welcome.
Thank you, everyone. I am honored to be running for DeKalb County Superior Court Judge Division 4. I am Angela Brown. I am a longtime person who cares about what happens in this community. It's time for a change in DeKalb County. I'm running for this position because, one, I'm qualified. I've got 28 years experience as an attorney. I've got over 10 years experience as a judge. I have been on all sides of the bench. I've been on the criminal side, so I can understand both as a prosecutor and as a criminal defense attorney what to do. I have been on the civil side. I've worked in a large law firm. I've also worked as an in-house counsel for a 500 corporation where it was my job to determine everything that happened from the Mississippi to the Pacific. So I bring a diversity to the bench that's lacking right now. A diversity that allows me to administer justice to all sorts of people. I'm running because it's time for a judge who has respect and treats people with dignity from the bench. It's time for a judge who will follow the law, who will allow people to have bond hearings and things that concern them that they're supposed to have under the law. I will be a judge who understands the business community and the particular issues that we as business owners have. I am a proud Dunwoodian. I have children who are here in the Dunwoody school system, and so I understand. I'm a citizen like you that understands what happens in this community. I'm a legacy of service. My father was in the military. My mother was public education her entire life. They instilled in me the importance of working for your community. Judges are tasked with being a part of the community that they're in. It impacts our discretion on cases. It impacts how we impact the community. I will be a judge that will be there the entire time. I will not show up every 4 years and just ask you for your vote. Again, I'm Angela Brown. My website is angelabrownforjudge.com. I will leave a legacy of service. I will work hard for you, for our community. And so I'm asking you for your vote. I'm asking you for your support on the May 24th ballot. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. Next we have Judge Clarence Steelier, a well-serving Superior Court judge, as he makes his way up here, who has been incredibly involved in addressing issues of domestic violence here in DeKalb County. I can't count how many awards you received for that. It was quite an impressive, Judge.
Well, it's kind of an issue in my campaign. I'm the longest-serving judge in DeKalb County. I'm a state court judge for 4 years, 31 years in the Superior Court. I'm going to talk a little bit about my past. In 1980, I ran for judge against a fellow by the name of J. Oscar Mitchell. He was the judge who put Martin Luther King in jail. Martin was a candidate in jail for a traffic violation. And he abused my client. I appeared before him, so I resolved to run against him. And I won. He was a racist judge. He had to be removed. I won the race. And then we started some changes. The first employee, the first black American employee in the state court was a fellow by the name of Nasby Thomas. He was my bailiff. There were no other black employees in the state court system. In the Superior Court system, I don't know of any either. I then talked to Judge Smith, who was the state court judge, and asked him, this county at this time is 40% black. How come we don't have any other black employees in the county? I think we need more. And to his great credit, Jack Smith, as the chief judge, did that. By the time I left the state court, 20% of the employees were African American. It should have been done before that. About a week after I got elected to the state court, I was wandering around the courtroom kind of in a daze. It was pretty surprising having won the election. Then I saw a flag, and I discovered it was a Confederate battle flag. So the next morning, I did notify the press and told them what I was going to do. I took the bench and then made an announcement. The Confederate flag used to be a flag of honor. Now it represents an attitude toward race that does not need to be important, and we removed it. The next afternoon, the Atlanta Journal has a headline. The new DeKalb judge removes Confederate battle flag, banishes Confederate battle flag. Not much happened that night. But the next day, all happened. Telephone calls. The Ku Klux Klan got active. The citizens started to the street. They started calling. There were threats, and there were letters, and there were letters. I can't even describe it all. And I ended up getting a death threat from all places Idaho. That I turned over to the FBI, and he was prosecuted. I'm sorry about that. I've been a judge for this long period of time. I'm an honor that you give me the opportunities. I'd like to serve one more term. It's been a wonderful ride. If I don't win, I would say thank you so much for the years that I've had, but I do want one more term. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge. Next up, we have Stephanie Johnson. Stephanie, are you here? Make your way out. Is Stephanie here? Stefan, hello. Okay. We have to spell this one right. Thank you, Stefan. I apologize. Say hello to Robert.
Hello, my name is Stefan Johnson, and I'm running for the DeKalb County Superior Court Judge. Very briefly, I was born and raised in Jackson, Mississippi. Went to a small Presbyterian college in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Stillman College. Graduated from Oklahoma City University and moved to DeKalb County in December of 2001. People ask sometimes, Stefan, why do you want to be a judge? It's very simple. Since 2001, I've been seeing DeKalb County go on decline and a rise in crime. Can you hear me? I've seen DeKalb County go on decline and a rise in crime. Well, I want to be part of the solution and not the problem. I believe that we should be tough on crime. That you be a fair and impartial magistrate. You make decisions as they come to you. My opponent has made some decisions, and quite frankly, he's a good man. But there are decisions that I disagree with. My opponent has had cases where murderers were given low bonds. And quite frankly, after paying just a little bit over $10,000, that person got out of jail and committed another murder. I believe that a judge should be willing to sit through jury trials all year. When you get the people's vote to do a particular job, I think it's your duty, it's your responsibility to fulfill that job and sit through the trial, no matter how long it takes, no matter how short it takes. I believe that the tough decisions when it comes to child molestation cases should be made. We can disagree on the judge's ruling, but I'm asking you to go to the polls on May 24th and vote for Stefan Johnson. Tough on crime, fair, responsible, compassionate. Stefan Johnson for Judge.com. Thank you.
Moving on next to our Chief Executive Officer, the one of the 159 counties that has this position. Connie Stokes, are you here? Is Connie here? Okay. Well, we have Michael Thurman, who hopefully I saw him earlier. He's still here. If you can make your way up here, Michael. Come on up. Now, many of us know Michael Thurman as a former representative, or as a former Department of Labor commissioner, or as a former school board superintendent. But now we get to know Michael, I almost want to say Mr. DeKalb, but as running for CEO of DeKalb County. Welcome.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank the DeKalb Chamber for hosting this event, and I would like to congratulate each and every man and woman who submitted themselves to seek public office this year. It takes a tremendous amount of courage and integrity and dedication to put yourself forward in the political arena, and I congratulate each and every one of you. I'm Mike Thurman. I'm a candidate for CEO. I've served as the Director of the Department of Family and Children's Services, Labor Commissioner, most recently as Superintendent of the DeKalb County School District. What I will do, if you will honor me with the opportunity to serve you as your CEO, I promise you that we will have an honest government, a transparent government, and a government that focuses on serving the citizens of DeKalb County, Georgia. We can do better, we will do better. My goal will be to create a holistic vision for DeKalb County that allows people north and south, east and west to come together, to work together for a common cause. We will open up the lines of communication, build bridges of cooperation, and we will work together to return DeKalb County, not to the great DeKalb that it was, but if you will elect me, we won't be as great as we was, but we will be greater than we have ever been before. That is my commitment, that is my goal, and by working with the men and women in this room, we will be successful. Thank you so much, and I appreciate your vote on May the 24th.
All right, for District 4 County Commission, we have two people, Lance Hammond. Lance here? No Lance? All right. Next we have Will Willis. Is Will here? Okay, Will's on my list, but not here. All right, next we have District 6 Super Commissioner Kathy Gannon. As Kathy makes her way up here, I've got to know her for a number of years. We've also done the DeKalb Planning to Get Commission together, where I learned a lot about planning by Kathy's words and wisdom.
Thank you, thank you. Kathy Gannon, DeKalb County. I am your Super District 6 Commissioner. I know when we talk about DeKalb County, the conversation goes up in the back of the room, but we have a lot of work to do in DeKalb County, so we need you all to stay with us and to help us out. Thank you to the chambers, both the chambers, for organizing this event. Thank you to all of the candidates who are here. I have been your commissioner for 11 years now. I have frequently been on the losing side of a lot of decisions, but I have found the way to work in DeKalb County is to work with our constituents, with citizens, with partnerships, and getting the job done that way so that you don't have to go before the commission and get a vote for everything. Because frequently, I am not getting a vote for the things that are important, like how we spend our money, like the fact that we need an internal auditor, other kinds of things that are needed in this county to rebuild trust in your government. And so that is why I want to serve again. There is unfinished business. I started a blueprints in 2014 to work with citizens toward reforms for DeKalb County, and through that effort, we were able to get passed through our legislature an internal auditor bill. We revamped and improved the Board of Ethics to take the appointments away from the commissioners and give them to the community. We have a new procurement policy that makes it accountable for what you do in buying and selling with the county. At this point in time, I'm working with another group of citizens who convened because the talk now is about changing the form of government. We need to have that discussion, but we need to have you at the table for that discussion. So I propose to bring you to the table as a partner. You're part of the team, and with your help, and there's some changes in our government's elected bodies, we can make things happen for DeKalb County. I am Kathy Gannon. I ask you for your vote May 24th. Early voting starts May 2nd. Thank you.
All right. Next up, we have our sheriff candidates. We'll start with Kyle Jones. Is Kyle here? Here we are. Kyle, come on up. Thank you, Kyle.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First, I'd like to thank the Dunwoody Chamber of Commerce for having this event and inviting me out tonight. I'm Kyle Jones. I'm a father of 3. I've been married for 18 years, and I've been serving the law enforcement in this community for 20 years. I've served you with boots on the ground, starting with the DeKalb Police Department. I was here in 1998 in Dunwoody when we had the tornadoes hit, helping evacuate and create relief centers. I've been serving you as a sergeant in internal affairs for the DeKalb Police Department. I served you as in major crimes as a sergeant. I was the commander of the Fraud and Financial Crimes Unit for the DeKalb County Police Department. I've served with boots on the ground at the Sheriff's Office, working from a deputy all the way up to a lieutenant. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm running for this job because I am highly qualified for this job. I bring the most experience to the table. I have the vision to move this county forward, and working in collaborations with the CEO, the county commissioners. My platform is going to be running on education, economic development, and fighting crime. And Right now, at this current time, we look at the situation that this county's in. We need people that's going to be able to collaborate and work with the police departments in order to make the community safe. I have the ability to collaborate with them, and I will collaborate with them. I am unbought and I'm unpaid for. I haven't been handpicked for this job. My education and my background would be a good fit for this county. Remember, vote for me, Kyle Jones, DeKalb County Sheriff, and I'll serve you with will, and at times I'll serve you with might. Thank you.
All right, next up we have, is Geraldine Champion here? Here we are. Come on up. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank the Chamber of Commerce for inviting me. My name is Geraldine Champion. I've got 26 years. I have 26 years. If some of those people was kind of listening back there, I can't talk to them. I have 26 years of policing, city of Atlanta. I'm a retired homicide detective. I have 17 years with the U.S. Army. I'm the chief interrogator of my unit, 273rd Military Intelligence. I'm the founder of the Senior Citizen Program, the Senior Citizen Safety Program, which outreached about 5,000 people, seniors in DeKalb County. Now you want to know why I want to step out of retirement and run for this sheriff position. First of all, I'm tired of the same old lies coming from the same people every election. You've heard my background, so I am qualified. What do I intend to do? The first thing I intend to do is get back with the community. We've gotten away from the community. The community can't trust us anymore. They're shooting at us. What I intend to do, I have this book of every community organization in DeKalb County. I will, as your sheriff, visit everyone so the community can learn how to trust us again. They don't trust us. All these pictures they taking of these criminals jumping in the store, robbing the store, somebody know who those people are, but they don't trust us. So they're not going to turn them in for $2,000. Okay? The next thing I'm going to do is have an open door policy. I don't know what about these elected officials, they scared of open door policy. Twice a month, I'm going to have, first of all, my deputies to come in and let me know what their concerns are. The second day, I'm going to have the citizen, the taxpaying citizen, who's paying our salary, come in and say what their concerns are. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a mandatory, y'all listen, a mandatory drug rehab program. It's not in there now. You might hear some lies that it's not in there now. All of the investigation I've done in my 26 years of policing, 98% of them was drug related. We got to do something to get these people to go and move it into a productive system. Okay? Now, y'all vote for me when you get to the poll. I see you at the poll.
Next we'll hear from Sheriff Jeff Mann. I saw him earlier. Come on up. That would be Mr. Lavelle, who's going to give diamonds to everybody today. Thank you.
Right here.
Thank you, Bob. Good evening, everyone. I am Jeff Mann, your current DeKalb County Sheriff, and I'm delighted to be here with you this evening. I want to thank the DeKalb Chamber for hosting this and inviting the candidates out this evening. Again, I am Jeff Mann. I've been your sheriff for the last 2 years. Prior to that, I was the Chief Deputy Sheriff in the DeKalb County Sheriff's Office for 9 years prior to that, managing the day-to-day operations of the Sheriff's Office, the 860 men and women of the Sheriff's Office, the 4 divisions, the $80 million budget of the DeKalb County Sheriff's Office. Even prior to that, I was the legal counsel for the DeKalb County Sheriff's Office for 4 years prior to that. So I've been in executive management experience for the DeKalb County Sheriff's Office for the last 15 years. This is an executive management job. It is not a job for a line level officer. We have the experience. It is demonstrated by the fact that for the last 2 years, even before the last 2 years, since we've been in office, since I succeeded Thomas Brown as sheriff, we've maintained what is called the Triple Crown accreditation. And that is maintaining all 3 national accreditations at the same time. All 3 accreditations, national accreditations simultaneously. Only 41 of the 3,080 sheriff's offices across this country can boast the Triple Crown accreditation status. That's less than 1.5% of all sheriff's offices across this country. And we've been able to do that. We've been reaccredited for our CALEA, for our law enforcement functions earlier this year. We were reaccredited for our inmate health care function services late last year. And later on this year, we will be reaccredited for our overall jail operations. So I would ask that you continue to support me and support the men and women of the Sheriff's Office as we continue to provide DeKalb County citizens with a level of excellence. Thank you.
Thank you, Randy. All right, next we have our Tax Commission candidates. First we have Irvin Johnson. I believe he's here. Mr. Johnson, was he here? He's coming on, there he is. It's the bright lights up here. Come on up. Thank you for meeting. You're welcome.
Good evening. How you doing? Hello? Hello out there. Hello out there. All right. My name is Irvin Johnson. Irvin Magic Johnson, basketball player. How many of you thought you would ever meet Magic Johnson? Okay. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm your tax commissioner. I've been the tax commissioner since January 1 of this year. I succeeded Claudia Lawson, who retired in December as your tax commissioner, and she recommended me. I was the chief deputy, and I was appointed according to Georgia Constitution to fill her vacant seat. I'm on the election in May, and I'm looking for your vote and your support. Here's why I think the tax commissioner's race is important. What we have here at stake is, who do you trust to manage your tax dollars? Who do you trust? You should be trusting someone who has managed the money before, who has managed the operation, who has a successful reputation. Our reputation in DeKalb County is spotless. You don't hear about us much, and it's sad to say that when you don't hear about people, they don't get credit for doing a good job. Isn't that interesting? But that's where we are. We've kept our nose to the grindstone. We have an $8 million budget. We have $800 to $900 million of your money that we handle and distribute to the various what we call levying authorities. That's the city, that's the Board of Education, and that's also the Board of Commissioners. So without the process that we go through, it would be hard for the judges, the police department, and a number of other departments to function in DeKalb County. So what you have is, you have a department that's collected 99% of the assessed taxes over the last 15 to 20 years. I don't think you can find another department that has that kind of success record. So we're doing what you intended for us to do, and we're doing it ethically, we're doing it transparently, and we're accountable for that money. And we're making some improvements in that organization, and we're looking forward to working with you and working with the rest of the county in terms of what we do at the Tax Commissioner's Office. Again, my name is Irvin J. Johnson, just like Magic, and I'd ask you to support me and vote for me in May. Thank you.
Next up for Tax Commissioner, we have Susanna Scott. I saw her earlier. Come on up, Susanna. Welcome. Good to see you again.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for coming out. Thanks to both chambers for hosting this event. I think it's very important that we all learn as much as we can about our candidates. My name is Susanna Scott, and I am running for tax commissioner in DeKalb County. And I think my opponent spoke pretty clearly about why it's important that we have ethical, honest people running the tax office. I'm interested in running for a position because I'm a lifelong member or resident of DeKalb County, and I care deeply about the county and how it's run. I was raised in a family that valued public service. I was raised to believe that you give back to your community when you can. I had worked as an attorney for 20 years, which shocks me sometimes, or 15 years, I'm sorry. And I worked as a contract negotiator, which means that I worked to problem solve with our clients in my company to figure out what their needs are and how we can best serve them and get them on board with everybody else so that we can move forward and make sure that everyone's needs are being satisfied. And through that, I have learned how important it is to listen to everyone that you are working with, your constituents, to make sure that they're getting what they need, which means as tax commissioner, you're having to listen to your constituents to see how are you getting the services that you need. Are you being served efficiently and with transparency and integrity, but also with friendliness and a good attitude? And it's important that you're also paying attention to your constituents, the employees, to make sure that they're being rewarded and valued for the care they give in providing you that excellent service. I've worked for a number of years with various nonprofit organizations, including League of Women Voters and Junior League of DeKalb, serving on their boards and learning a lot about how to manage money and how to work efficiently within a budget. And I want to bring these skills to DeKalb County, and with Ms. Lawson's resignation, bring in a fresh perspective and looking at the systems that we have in place to figure out how we can provide the services that Tax Commission offers and in a more efficient way. And my time is up, so please vote for me on May 24th at both the special election and the Democratic primary. Thank you.
Thank you. Next for solicitor, which will be an open seat, we have two candidates. First, we'll have Nicole Martin Golden. Excuse me. Welcome, Nicole. Thank you for being here.
Hello, my name is Nicole Marchand Golden, and I am a candidate for Solicitor General in DeKalb County. I started my career in the DeKalb Solicitor's Office 13 years ago, and I've committed my entire career to prosecution. And the reason for that, I have a vested interest in keeping DeKalb County safe. I have two little boys that I raised in DeKalb County, and my husband is the commander of the DeKalb County SWAT team. So as a family, we believe in public safety and keeping our families safe. I started, as I mentioned a minute ago, in the solicitor's office. I'm the candidate that has handled DUI prosecution. I've handled the prosecution of domestic violence cases. I've helped create programming, including for victims of human trafficking, domestic violence, diversion programs. I have not only been a trial line prosecutor and also handled child molestation and cruelty cases, but I've managed an office of 80 employees, a budget of $6 to $7 million as the Chief Assistant Solicitor General. So I was Assistant Solicitor General, I've been the Chief Assistant Solicitor General, I've even been Acting Solicitor General for a short period of time. I have the experience and the wherewithal to be a great solicitor from the first day I step into office. I ask that you keep me in mind and you vote for Nicole Marchand Golden on May 24th. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Nicole. Next, we're going to hear from Donna Coleman Stridley. Donna, you make your way up here. Got to know Donna's dad over the years, a big highway and safety kind of guy, as am I. Welcome.
Good evening. My name is Donna Coleman Stridley. I am running for the position of DeKalb County Solicitor General, and let me begin by saying I won't be taking 2 minutes. I'm running for this position because this position is important to me. I'm from DeKalb County. I've been here since the age of 5. The home that we live in, our families, our businesses are touched every day by the misdemeanors that happen in our county. It's important that we keep our county safe. It's important that we keep our streets safe. It is important that our businesses feel that they can prosper here in this county. I recall when there was a time where DeKalb County had some of the best schools. Our businesses were able to expand, and the crime level certainly wasn't what it is now. And it is my goal as DeKalb County Solicitor General to get back to where we used to be. It is important to me also that we unify DeKalb. So when you go to the polls, remember to vote for Donna Coleman Stribling for DeKalb County Solicitor General. Remember that I'm trying to unify DeKalb. Vote Donna for one DeKalb. Thank you very much.
All right, next we have our state court judge, Grace, and we have Roderick Regents is here. Welcome, Roderick. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Roderick Regents, and I'm running for state court judge. It's an honor to be here today and speak to you all about why I want to be the next state court judge. I have over 13 years of experience as a judge, both on the traffic court and the state court. So I bring a wealth of experience to the court. I also understand how to operate the court. When I as a state court, as a traffic court judge, I created various programs to improve the effectiveness and efficiency of the court. As you know, many of you are familiar with traffic court. We had a problem with the backlog when I first got there. One of the things I did was create the court's first FTA calendar. And what we did is actually divert individuals away from going to jail and actually process them through the court, so saving the taxpayers money on how much it would cost to house them for simple misdemeanors, and while recouping the money that actually would have been spent on those individuals being incarcerated in jail. In addition, one of the things I did is I actually created the court's first case management system. This made the court more efficient, helped us avoid those nasty press releases we had where we were losing citations, and help us be more efficient as far as processing the citation. I'm also active in the community. I've been working in the community for a while now. One of the things I'm most proud of is my organization, Positive Hearing. I created that organization in 2004. What we do is mentor at-risk youth. We've been doing that since 2004. We've expanded the organization. We actually have our own group home now, and we actually also we do food banks, and we also do clothing banks in the community. I do believe that it's very important that you choose a judge that actually has the experience and qualification and is involved in the community. I bring that experience, and I ask that you to vote for me on May the 24th, Roger Bridges, State Court Judge. Thank you.
Thank you, Roger. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's all of our candidates. I don't believe I missed anybody out there. Raise your hand if I have it. All right. This is important. These are the people who make the policies and execute the administration of the offices that serve us. So if you like somebody, support their campaign. If you really